Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TJ's Lego Room. Have I got a fun thing to show you guys today? I am showing you my brand new first order TIE Battle Transport. This is a miniature transport that they use. It's a shuttle, but it's extremely small as far as carrying capacity. And that's because this is meant to transport small numbers of troops and officers across the battlefield. To where they need to go. This would be used in place of a speeder, so while normal troops would be able to go around on a speeder or some sort of lander transport like we saw in The Force Awakens, this guy is the one that would be used to move the commanders around from place to place on the battlefield depending on where they're needed and where and possibly as an escape craft. So this TIE Battle Transport would have been the shuttle that General Hux used on Starkiller Base to go get Kylo Ren and his mask, and then took this transport over to Kylo Ren's shuttle maybe, or up to one of the Resurgent class Star Destroyers when they escaped the destruction of Starkiller Base. This is what General Hux would have traveled in. He would have traveled in style in the TIE Battle Transport. So as you can see, I took some visual cues from the TIE Reaper, which was the Death Trooper transport in Rogue One. But this thing has quite a few differences. One of which is that I don't think it looks very good straight on from the side, which is why I like that my camera's up high, because then you can't see directly onto the side. But as you can see, there's some negative space here that you can see through on either side. Oop, knock that over. You can see it's got some forward cannons, some massive quad cannons on the front. However, those quad cannons are not super functional. They're usually just used to warn people off. Like, hey, don't mess with this thing or it'll come for you. In reality, only one of those cannons can fire at a time, and there is a little bit of a charge delay between each shot. So it really is very much decorative because of and defensive. Up on the top, I imagine that there is a shield generator or a shield projector. So this thing is very heavily armored and very heavily protected. Not a lot of offense, but it likes to look like it does to make sure it scares people off. Now, I'll go through one of my favorite feature probably on this thing. All right, so if we take a look at the back here, this is actually where people get out. But how do you get out, you ask? I'll show you. So these wings actually fold down. So they come down like the shuttles do. You know, they all have to do that. And then, this is a little bit tricky for me to get to with the camera here. But then the gate opens right here. And there you have... Oh, you can't tell right now, but I've got General Hux in there as a minifigure. We'll go ahead and take the roof off and show you guys how that works. So this is kind of a cool profile. I actually really like how it looks on the side when the wings are down. When the wings are up, it looks a little dorky, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But I love the way that this thing looks when it's landed, and the fact that not only when it lands do these move out of the way so that you can open the boarding ramp, but they also act as a type of shield. So as the guy's like walking down here, he's protected by the wings, the armored wings, and the shield projector, obviously, if you want to go that route, from attack from the side, from people coming at it, and even a little bit from above. Unless they're directly on top of you, you've got a little bit of protection, so they have some cover when walking from the transport into the base or whatever tactical command post that they're going for. So in the front, let's show you this, as I'm really excited about. So these two pieces mesh together so well. I wonder if they partially planned it that way. But they probably didn't. All right, so we just pop this guy off, boop, like this, and you can see inside. Let's see if we can get a light better here. We've got two different pilots. Normally this can be piloted just by one, and that's if he's transporting just a few troops or a special guard from one place to another. But when they're transporting high-level dignitaries, such as General Hux, you'll have a secondary officer pilot to make sure that the regular pilot does not have any mishaps or problems as they're piloting the ship. And then in the back here, if we take off the back section, we can see General Hux in all of his not so glory. And right there, you can see him, woo, right off the boarding ramp. A couple things I'm really proud of. Oop. Should probably just move that out of the way. I'm really happy with how this little greebling turned out. So when I've got the roof on here, you can see it's fairly seamless, and it's pretty nice. Pretty nice right there. Flows right into it. So the way I built that, if you're interested in that greebling, it's super nice. So what you'll want is you'll want to get some of these guys right here. I'm not really sure what sets they come in. I ordered these in bulk in some sort of online order, I think. I just really can't remember where I ordered all these. Or maybe they came in a bunch of sets that were inexpensive. And then I used one of these 1x2 plates with the little clip on it. And then you just pop that right on top. Boop. And ta-da! You've got a nice little greeble. And the angle actually worked out really well for this particular ship. Anyway, but that's not entirely why you come here. One of the reasons you come here is to see mistakes, problems, and techniques that I used in order to get this. So this guy here on the front, this is an interesting cockpit. It came in a Coruscant police shuttle, but it also came, I never got that shuttle, but it also came in one of the agent sets, the secret agent spy sets. And it was on a driller vehicle. And so I was able to use that red piece, and the red just looks good for the first order. And then this thing lines up almost perfectly right with it. It's really uncanny how beautiful they look together. And so that's what I used to get my my forward cockpit piece. Now, if you look on this, I actually only used a single stud point on each side. I did want this to be easily removed, because I was still working on the interior. One of the other things I did is put the controls a little bit forward. So if you look here, they actually stick into the windscreen a little bit, which is kind of fun. But we can get that right back on. It goes on without a hitch. Unless I'm recording a video, then it struggles. Now, this is the part where I'm going to show you a little trick that I had to do to make this work. So I'm going to show you the problem that I had. If I put these pieces right here, these 1x6 sloped curved bricks right in here, they match up perfectly, so they're designed to go in this windscreen. But if I put them on, and then I put those black bricks, those black curved slopes, right on the stud here, you can see this. Uh-oh. You see that right there? See that gap? See that hole? That unsightly, horrible hole? That's what happens. So how did I overcome this? And I will tell you, it was by accident. As all great Lego building techniques are created. So, in looking at this, I realized that these 1x6 bricks, if you look, they have no center stud holes. They just have those little tabs everywhere. And do you know what those work really well to do? You can actually half stud. These act as jumpers if you do it right. So what I do is I actually slide that forward. So we have it right here. So in place, and we got that little gap. So if I slide that thing forward just a half a stud, it still goes on, and voila, it matches up. There's no gap. It's perfect. Almost. As with everything, it's almost perfect. You wouldn't notice it on a galloping horse, right? But it fits so much better. That gap was so horrible for me. Now, the other problem you run into is now on the top, now I'm a half a stud off. But if you watched my last video, you know what my favorite half stud piece is. It's this guy. Yeah. 1x2 modified plate, and I'm not even sure what this is entirely called. If someone wants to leave a comment to let people know exactly what this piece is called. I believe if you look under 1x2 modified plate, 1x2 plate, or plate modified on Bricklink, I think you can find this thing without too much problem. But I used 3 of those on the front of my back roof piece to add that half ledge. And so it's obviously easier if I do it the other direction, but I can do it this way. So I slide that underneath right here and then press it down, and voila, I have a nearly perfect seal. Now I did add this little piece right here, this little 1x3 plate, or sorry, 1x3 tile, just using a couple of Technic pieces. Technic pin to stud pins. Just to add that in, because there was a little bit more of a gap there, and there probably are some other ways you can fix it, but I didn't do that. Anyway, time's running short. My video is about to cut out anyway because I'm getting short on memory space, but hey, leave a like if you like this. Leave some comments. Let me know. Let me know what you like about this, or if you don't like it. And as promised, I will end on showing you the horrible, what I think is horrible profile. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time in TJ's Lego Room. Bye.